Well, hello, it's Wednesday, so it must be time for Woolly Hat's Wednesday Whip. And you join me here inside because it's been quite wet and windy outside, although the sun has just come out, but everything looks a little bit squelchy out there. Anyway, I've been inside doing lots of admin jobs this morning and writing shopping lists and preparing and things like that. So it's always useful to have a day like that every now and again. So what have I been up to? Well, I have been making or crocheting Mr. W's blanket, and I have nearly finished it. So this is it so far. Yeah. So you can see there's the plain ones, and then there's the ones with dots, the different colours there. So I've just got one more row to go at the end, and then you know what happens with granny squares. You've got to tie in the ends, so that'll keep me amused, I think is the word, over the next perhaps couple of evenings. And then I'll put a border on, and then I'll give it to Mr. W, perhaps. It is his birthday on the 6th of October, so you might have to wait till then. Anyway, so that's what I've been up to this week. I've also done some more work on my sock, but I've showed you that last week, so I'll wait till I finished it to show you it next week. So very excitingly, this weekend is Yarndale. It's on Saturday and Sunday, and I'm going on Sunday with Joa, and where are we? Here we go. Yarndale posted some very useful information to take with us. So it's reminding us to take our tickets, and you can get tickets online. Even for Saturday and Sunday, they are timed so that it's not one big crush right at the beginning, which is probably quite useful. They suggest bringing comfy shoes, and I would definitely agree with that. If you're going to any show, you want comfy shoes. Water, I think that's good, because sometimes the concessions are quite busy. So if you want a cup of coffee, perhaps even take your own flask. However, I know from previous years there are quite a lot of coffee stalls and eating places, so queues don't tend to be too long. This year they're doing something where you can give your unwanted stash. I know for some of you that is a strange thing, but unwanted stash to Oxfam, and they've got a big desk, so I might root out some stuff that I'm never going to use and give it to them. They suggest wearing layers. Well, on a day like today, yes, definitely. It is inside, but it's in a big, it's the livestock market, so it's open, and it has some interesting smells as well, because they have real sheep and real sheep poo. What else have they got? But it's all quite sanitized, really. Yeah, it's not that bad. Wear your favourite handmade. Well, what a choice. I might have to take several to do changes during the day, because I'm not sure what my favourite one is. A purse, i.e. money, because I'm assuming they want you to buy something, and I'm sure it'd be very hard to go around without any patterns that you might want to buy wool for. And that's actually quite a good thing, because sometimes you go to one of these things and you don't have in mind what you want, and you see some rather lovely looking wool and then buy it, and you get it home and there's either not enough to do a project, or too much, or it's not quite right. So I might see what future projects I might want to do, and see whether I can need to take anything there. And then they say a pen. Well, pen's always useful. It's a good thing in life. But I shall also take my phone, because I take loads of pictures. Obviously I take, if I'm taking something of the stalls, I ask permission, but I find pictures very useful to remind me of things, and just, reminding myself of ideas. They do provide a big, brochure thing with all the things in, which I keep for a while, but, oh, sorry, there's a butterfly outside. But it's nice to have some photographs to remind you of things that might have inspired you or want to have a go at. So I'm looking forward to that. On Sunday I shall tell you all about it. So you might have noticed, I don't know whether you've seen this one before, but this is a very old knit. It's a pattern published by one of the very early Rowan magazines in the late 80s, and it's by Kaffe Fassett. Now, Kaffe Fassett loves his colour, and for those of you who went to Paris Castle this year to the exhibition, you'll see that he's still using lots of colour in his quilts and various other things. So I decided I wanted to make this, and you think, well, that looks. In fact, I can see that he looks quite good. I'm quite impressed. But this is quite a long tail, because when I was in the 80s, I was quite poor. Well, I'm certainly not rich now, but I was definitely poorer than I am now, and so I didn't have a lot of money to spend on posh Rowan wool. So I went to RKM in Warrington, where I was living at the time, and raided their wool, and So there's quite a bit of sort of acrylic mix in here. There's bits with wool in and all kinds of things. And there's so many colours, lots and lots of different colours. So there's dark browns, light browns, tweedy red, darky red, all that kind of stuff. So I had hundreds of balls of wool to do this, but it was. I'm glad I finished it, but it did take an awful long time because it's also Intarsia. So with Intarsia, you need to make little balls of wool to cover the bit that you're knitting. So you can imagine going across a row like this, you had quite a lot of balls of wool. And it was a labour of love, I think the thing is. So although I possibly would do it a lot better nowadays because I'm more experienced, I don't think I will because it'd take too long. And I did, the sleeves were quite loose, so I've ended up putting shearing elastic here and also in the neck. And that's possibly because I wasn't using the wool that they were after. But it's still nice to wear, especially on a day like this. It's not too thick, it's all double knit, but it's not too thick, and it's keeping me nice and warm while I do my admin jobs. So I think that's all from me now. I'm off to do some more admin and prepare for next week's classes that start in Biggers Cross United Forum Church. I've got I've got a couple of crochet places left if anybody wants one. I've got some knitting ones left, but mostly, certainly the evening one is quite full. But I will see all of those who I haven't seen before next week, and some return, so that's good. So that's all for me now for this week. I hope you're having a good week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye for now.